All right, we're going to start with the most terrific play. We usually do this chronologically, but we're going to do it most diabolically. And I wanted Cam Inman's intel on exactly what happened here, because the Niners lined up with 10 players on defense. Not a good thing. It was Travis Gibson who was not out there. So let's hear Justin Allegre from Cal, who did a nice job on Sunday. And Tim Ryan described the Fred Warner injury. Then we'll get into the video details on how they were one man short, and now next man up. Really? How do you do that without 54? Well, you can see the way Tristan Wirfs, who blocks him on the play, reacted. So Tim knows interior line play. So count it there. They got a base defense out there. You got 3 linebackers, 4 defensive backs. We're not playing a 3-3-4. We'd like to play a 4-3. They're minus 1 guy into this, Travis Gibson, who's supposed to be over 78, Tristan Wirfs. So they happen to run this play. They motion into an eye set, run a little counter action and pull some people. And Wirfs doesn't have anybody to block, so he goes up and he gets Fred Warner. Jair Brown has to come down. And if Fred is able to get, now watch Fred. How many yards behind the line of scrimmage is he? 5-6 yards. He's diagnosing and he's coming downhill, and now look who's in the way. If Wirfs is blocking Gibson, Fred has a direct shot to take out Cade Otton, the tight end, who's the lead blocker there on the lead play, the Bob play. They move him out, and Fred gets rolled up on. So that
with
is
a minute and a half to go.
So the last 2 minutes does matter.
It does matter. As White says, it matters to burst ahead for about 10.
You have 11 players on the field, and force 78, Tristan Wirfs, who is now the best left tackle in football, to block someone. This is a mental error that becomes a physical error at the highest level, because Wirfs is so good, he's a dancing bear. Nobody's over him. He's got a free run. So 78, where am I going? I need work. I'm going to go get Fred Warner, their best player, push him out of the way, and the worst possible scenario occurs. So, wow. Physical errors will get you beat in the heat. Now to our next play. Kendrick Bourne, we love you. You've balled out the last couple of games, but you cannot run a double move when you're the hot KB and give the ball right to the other team on a short field. Let's hear the call.
Jones in the shotgun. Here comes the 4-man rush. He throws to the right, and it's intercepted at the 20-yard line. Stumbling once, stumbling twice, trying to get back to his feet, and ultimately just finally going down is Kindle Vildor. And that is a turnover that starts things off for the Buccaneers defense.
Yeah, and that's a bad error from Mac Jones, and played right into what Todd Bowles wanted him to do. He's throwing the hot out to the perimeter. Was not an accurate throw. I think he wanted the in cut. There was pressure coming. Hassan Reddick was unblocked, and it hits Kindle Vildor right in the chest for the interception. Now the 49ers backs against the wall at their own 12-yard line.
That's why they go on the stat sheet for the quarterback, but this one's on Kendrick Bourne. And Vildor, did he catch the ball, Greg, all the way to the field?
I don't know, man. I was looking at that. I heard you say it earlier, and I'm thinking,
Okay, so here's Todd Bowles. He's going to give you his zone blitz. He's showing everything that he bails out with Yaya. He brings pressure off the front side. Kendrick Bourne, you can't run a double move here. He's got to get the ball out. Hot means hot. I got pressure in my face, and there's already a second guy. I'm not sure that hot wouldn't have been a great play anyway. It wouldn't have got you anything, but he had to get it out. Kendrick Bourne, the original call, and you saw Mac throw his arms out and go to his eyes saying, see me. We called it. Kendrick Bourne, you cannot go double move here. You cannot go out and back in. A lot of different ways they call that play, China route, whatever you want to call it. Out, in. Sometimes it's an in-out. Philadelphia, KC's got the Tom and Jerry and the corn dog play. This one's on Kendrick Bourne. Where are you going, bro? The ball's going the other way. And obviously with Tim Ryan, it looks like a terrible throw. And Mac Jones just threw the ball to 22 in white and not to 84 in red. But again, these are mental mistakes. Travis Gibson, get on the field. So they're showing you a single high look, and they're bailing out a little bit, but they jumped the route because there's a blitz behind it. It looks like they're playing a man, maybe a cover one, but actually it's a zone blitz. And they're blitzing off the other side, and you throw right into it because Kendrick Bourne does not get it. So Travis Gibson, physical, mental error results in a physical error at the highest level of Warner's out the year. This interception gave him a short field, mental error by Kendrick Bourne, who's playing great. But you've got to get the hot. Sit down right there. Don't go back inside. They take over inside your red zone, and for the first time all year in the first quarter, you give up points. So mental errors will get you to get beat in the heat. That was early in the game, the one right before halftime. Which Johnson is this? I'm going to go with Cam Johnson. Come see our Johnsons at Raymond James Stadium. They got them all sizes, lengths, girths, and they're hard to stay with when you make a mental error and no one wraps up your Johnson. You got to wrap up the Johnsons. Let's hear the call.
More 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line.
Showing heavy pressure here, the 49ers.
They're stacking the line right now. Johnson motion from left to right, and they bring the blitz. Mayfield to throw, hit as he throws, and he throws wide open downfield at the 10-yard line, making the catch. It's Johnson, and he'll speed into the end zone for the touchdown.
And another busted coverage. Coverage error right there. Penalty flag on the field. We'll see what the penalty is, maybe on Upton Stout for the hit on Baker Mayfield, but nobody was out there covering Cameron Johnson.
That 2-minute drill became a 1-minute drill. Ugh.
Yeah, so you see him over Cam Johnson, Upton Stout. He's going to blitz off the other slot. So right now, what are you in? It looks like, you're bringing a lot of pressure. And Cam Johnson, this motion across the field, mainly to a stack last year with the Rams, but now this is like the cheat exit motion that Miami runs when Tyreek was healthy. So Cam Johnson gets a running start. Bryce Huff buzzes out there. So he's got the flat player, and I think that's his responsibility, is to get Rachaad White in the flat. Where's D. Winters going? You've got 2 on number 1. D. Winters, you've got to pick up. Now, I don't like this matchup at all. Now, D's fast, but he's got to flip his hips and run. Stout tags Baker. Baker gets all in his face. But there's tells here. They're playing a zone. He's not following across. So how are they going to line up on that side? They got a linebacker there. So we're going to run the wheel route, the exit route, the cheat route with Cam Johnson. So the pre-snap motion away from the bunch. To the other side, there's nobody there. Demo's over on that side, but he's engaged inside. So I don't know. We'll find out with a football or with Sam. But this one's on D. Winters. It would seem like to me that he's got to follow the wide receiver. I don't like the whole play call. That's going to be a hard cover for him anyway. But Bryce Huff, you would think, and this is kind of a zone blitz. They drop out. Watch 47. He drops out, and he's got the flat player. You don't need 2 players on number 1, Rachaad White. He's good, but he's not that good. And that's not leaving uncovered Johnson down the sideline. So he's not Keyshawn and say, throw me the damn ball. But if no one's anywhere near me, throw me the damn ball. So the first 3 plays we're showing, Greg, mental error, resulting in physical error. Mike linebacker out the year. Give him the ball inside the 20. Just give him a walk-in touchdown right before halftime. That's how you lose.
Oh, man, would have been a pick 6 on the Vildor play if he had just able to keep his footing. He fell down like 3 different times.
All right, now to the Baker portion of our show. Wow, has he gotten better. And he didn't have his 3 top receivers. And, in Super Bowl 25, there's a play that will live in infamy in my mind. It's the Mark Ingram Sr. 3rd and 13, where he deked everybody in Buffalo, including Darryl Talley and Cornelius Bennett. And he got the big head of Mark Kelso, and he picked up a first down on a 3rd and 13 where he got like the last 5 by just juking guys. This was 1 yard longer. This play is the infamous Baker 3rd and 14 play.
3rd and 14 from the 41 of the Buccaneers. They rush just the 4. Deep drop for Mayfield. Pressured, and he almost goes down. Gets free of Huff. Now runs out to his left. Pump fakes a couple of times. Slips a tackle from Upton Stout. Gets near the first down marker. Lunges forward. Reaches the ball across. And he's got enough to move the chains. Unbelievable.
That is vintage Baker Mayfield. He eludes the sack of Bryce Huff, who's rushing from that spinner position. A joker standing up in the middle of the field. He goes right by the right guard, Haggard, misses the sack, and then now Baker's off to the races. Shakes Upton Stout, shakes a couple of more tackles. Bethune finally has him, but Baker just lays out, sells out, gets the ball past the line to gain.
Honestly, maybe the best play I've ever seen him make. So the 49ers are going to get the pressure from the outside. Bryce Huff from one side. They're actually going to get there at about the same time. Travis Gibson, great rush there, as he's able to get around Tristan Wirfs, one of the best tackles in football. They arrive on time. They got a Baker sandwich here, but they don't get him on the ground. Maybe the fact that they both got there together, one went one way or the other, they both lost half of a sack. Keeps Baker alive. Now he becomes Mahomes. He's ball faking you. He's pump faking you. And there's the big missed tackle by Renardo Green. Renardo, you got to get him on the ground. So watch it from the low angle behind the end zone. Watch the pass rush from the outside guys. And they get home. Actually, Huff lines up inside over at guard.
Yeah.
What a great rush. They had Okawano outside. Look at the rush by Travis Gibson. They forgot to do one thing. Get the quarterback on the ground. Bryce Huff, Tim loves the spinners, where you stand up at a 2-point stance, and he spins out of it. Now he pump fakes. You cannot take the pump fake in midfield. You've got to stay down. Dive for his feet. You're not going to get him on the ground. So you've got 2 missed sacks, a missed tackle. Renardo Green. Upton Stout's got a missed tackle. Renardo Green's got a missed tackle. And then you just watch Tatum Bethune on this play as well. Every play, it's like WWFD, what would Fred do? So there, Fred's in a drop position now. He's diagnosing and dropping. And watch 48 come down the line. Does Fred Warner run through that block? Who was that? K-Dot in their tight end? It was. And make the play. Does he get there a beat early and make the play? But they're all culpable on this play. This is not so much a mental error, maybe in some technique when they look at it. Renardo Green, what are you doing there? You got to get him on the ground. And then Tatum gets there, but just a stretch. Quarterback did not give himself up. So we ran a great pass rush. We moved Huff inside over a guard. He's your spinner. He wins easy. Travis Gibson beat the left tackle in football. He still gets out. Get him on the ground. Let's do it. Renardo Green can't do it. Tatum Bethune can't do it. And the 3rd and 14 becomes a 1st and 10. And this is one of the best plays he's made that I've seen, and he's made some good ones the last few years in Tampa, Greg. He's the MVP of the league right now. But this is him on the unscripted. The next play was him as a quarterback from the pocket. We were talking about how small Baker Mayfield is. So how does he do it? We were talking to Tim Ryan. Well, Drew Brees was small, and Brees would get up on his tippy toes, lift his head up and use his eyes and try to see, and he would manipulate people in his passing lane. If Brock's having a hard time with balls getting tipped or they're choking off the middle of the field, get the middle of the field vacated. So he picks up that 3rd and 14 a couple of plays later. He goes to another Johnson, but this Johnson's the longest.
Just the first possession for Tampa Bay in the second half. 2:50 to go in the third quarter. Waist-high shotgun snap for Mayfield. Pumps again, steps up into the pocket, launches it deep downfield, and reaching out to reel it in at the goal line. Tez Johnson, by his fingertips, is in for the touchdown out from 45 yards.
Yeah, and then he does a back handspring with a Baroni on the end of it, a flip with a twist, and went right by Renardo Green.
Tim's got it all down. Sal is going, Marquise Siegel, aren't you my postman? Why did you vacate the post? So let's see what Baker does. They just run a go route here, and he runs by everybody. Nobody picks him up. It's a zone. Marquise Siegel, the great John Madden's line was, you always need to be deeper than the deepest. If you are playing free safety, you have got to stay on top. No one gets behind you. The motion, it's a zone. We're going to run right by everybody. So 36, and there's where Baker's eyes are. He's influencing the middle of the field with the in-cut from the other tight end. Is that Payne Durham, I think it is? And Tez has got his hand up on the 30-yard line. Get me the ball. Baker moved Siegel up a little bit and threw behind him. And with Malik Mustafa coming back, they're kind of live auditioning. Malik did not have great game. Tucker, the back 44, his touchdown going left. Malik was slow to diagnose. They're young players. And Marquise Siegel, we know you can run a 4.37 coming forward, but you're not so fast when they beat you over the top. So those are back-to-back plays from Baker Mayfield, Greg. 3rd and 14, he runs forward. Here, we're just taking a shot. They're going to be in a zone. They got a young guy, a rookie, playing at free safety. He's better in the box, coming down. That's why you saw a lot of Jair Brown in this game. Great catch there by Tez to catch the bottom of the football. But this is just, we're going to get him in a zone, and Marquis Siegel is going to bite on the in cut right there, just across the 40-yard line. Does he need to? You've already got Diamador. Well, they're going to drop him right there. And a lot is that Bethune who's dropping back in that hook zone. That ball may be completed on the 30-yard line. But if Siegel stays on top, he hits the tight end on the in cut on the dig. If Siegel lets him get behind, and he's not the deepest of the deeper of the deepest, that's a mental error as well. I mean, we're all 5 mental errors. I think the 3rd and 14 was Baker making a great play, and maybe some technique when they get in the room on how to get. Certainly the ball, the pump fakes to Upton Stout. So you had Gibson and you had Huff making an error after great pass rushes, and then you can't get him on the ground. And then obviously Renardo Green couldn't get him down, and Tatum arrived a beat late. We're honest here. You got beat, and the bottom line, that Fred Warner injury is not just a one-off. It wasn't like he missed last week and he's coming back and the ankle's fine. He's having surgery right now.
At a hospital.
Already did. He's at the ear. Of course, the hospital. What is it? So that's the deal. So you cannot now. They're young players, and you play a lot of rookies and a lot of guys that are new. Gibson just got here. Bryce Huff knows Sala, but he's a new 49er. Tatum Bethune is a 7th-round pick, first time being a starter if he does start. Justin Upton Stout is a rookie. They're all young. Marquis Siegel is a rookie. So you like to mix in rookies. You don't want to have a whole defense full of rookies, and now you don't have your veteran guys. So that's why they lost the game. Combination of physical and mental errors. And you think, Tampa Bay has an explosive offense. You got to deal with Bijan Robinson and Drake London. This quarterback is highly inaccurate. You just got to make him come off his initial read. He's not Baker Mayfield. Yeah. He's a lefty, a little weird in Michael Penix, but you've got to tighten up the bust. It's easy to correct him, on the whiteboard and watching film. You go out and play at 100 miles an hour, and you take one wrong step, Marquis Siegel, and you go up. But I'm the postman. The postman's going to ring 6 times over your head if you let him get behind, and he was waving at the 30-yard line. So almost all of those were mental errors. You can't have that many mental errors, and you're going to lose.
Yeah, we watched Tez Johnson, the Oregon Duck, at the NFL Combine, the adopted brother of Bo Nix. I didn't know he had hands like that to lay out and make that kind of catch. Tracy Sandler joining us coming up in a bit. We talk to her every Tuesday, and the mental errors did the 49ers in right there. So appreciate the film study from Papa's Playbook, and we'll have that isolated for you and up on YouTube. The Fred Warner injury, Mac Jones interception, Cameron Johnson touchdown, Baker Mayfield 3rd and 14 scramble, and that 3-play sequence right there was the game between the Baker scramble, a 1-yard loss on a handoff, and then Tez Johnson 45-yard touchdown. We'll talk about all of it with Tracy next. It's Papa and Silver on the Sports Leader.